space typologies, furniture design, technology, the use of materials, textile and color trends, every innovative proposal on each field related to interior design is getting linked in some way to a generalized feeling. We need to achieve the UN's goals for a sustainable development of the planet. It is necessary to stop the warming of the Earth. Nowadays, people are aware of the climate change. The consumer knows that each decision has a consequence, and this new way of thinking is supposing a transformation in economy, industry, society, lifestyle, and of course, in design. Sustainability is not a trend anymore. Sustainability is a fact to take into account as a natural ingredient of our design process. In this time, in which everything happens and changes very fast, the future is already among us. This great challenge is already here. That is why today, I will try to share with you how interior design is overcoming this scene. Okay. Scientists say that we are in the sixth extinction of life on Earth. We thought there was no limit to improvement. We thought we could create wealth out of nothing by improving products, construction, mobility, technology, but all this mass production has had a global warming as a no-return consequence, what is called the climate change. What does the climate change do? It changes the hydrological cycle of the Earth, in which all living systems are based. For each grade, the temperature goes up because of the climate change. The atmosphere is soaking up 7% more precipitation, and due to this, more unpredictable water events come. For example, floods in the US are getting worse every year. Typhoons in Japan, hurricanes in the Caribbean Sea. Climate change is a fact, and due to temperature increasing, the number and strength of natural disaster is growing up. This is the new normal, and it's not going to get better. Ecosystems are collapsing, and species are dying. Scientists say that we have 12 years left to avoid a final and catastrophic temperature increase of 1.5 degrees. What can we do as designers? What can we do? We need an integral transformation. I prefer to refer to it as an evolution, an integral evolution that will affect every little field of our lifestyles. In 2017, the UN adopted the Sustainable Development Goals. What are they? Sustainable Development Goals are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They are 17, and they address the global challenges we face, including those related to peace, justice, poverty, inequality, and, of course, climate change and environmental degradation. These goals are all interconnected, and it's important that we achieve them all by 2030. Besides this, a new global infrastructure scheme is being proposed by Jeremy Rifkin, the Green New Deal, a more distributed and transparent society that will move from globalization to localization. It is based in the convergence of the emergence of three technologies that will change economy, politics, and our way of staring at the world. These three technologies are communications technology. The development of communications, digital communication and internet, has supposed the globalization of knowledge, the transformations of socializing forms. The Internet of Things has brought interactions. The sensors can turn buildings into edge data centers. The smart everything, connecting data, hyperconnectivity, all this can bring more people together over time and space, and they can have a collective life together. Now, communication is open, distributed, and transparent for a not vertical society. Then, second, we have technology for the use of renewable sources of energy. Solar and wind energies, mainly, which mean that the substitution of carbon-based economy and carbon-based energies for a carbon-off civilization is now possible. A resource optimization that reduces carbon dioxide emissions and guarantee a never-ending energy sources. And in first place, we have the technology for new forms of mobility. We are talking about transportation, but also about logistics, electrical and automated. These three technologies come together in a new social infrastructure which changes the way society communicates, powers itself, and has mobility. In addition to the UN goals for sustainable development and to the Green New Deal, young people all over the world are protesting. They are calling for a climate emergency. They are understanding that we are part of a larger community where there's no boundaries, there are no borders. Everything is connected. Everything that happens affects the rest of the planet because we are a system, we are an ecosystem. It is in this context where we need to have sustainable development always in mind, where we find a new user persona diversity with diverse priorities and demands. Identity has never been so important and so inclusive than today. And all these converge into new lifestyles. As we spend more time at home, we will understand it is as a hub. Now it's a place where we can rest, but where we can work, where we can train ourselves, where we can socialize. Limits between private and public at home will be redefined. Then the feeling of the community, collective, co-housing, co-living, co-working, the veganism, the self-care, the appearance of the virtual, the transhumanism, to see. How is interior design answering to overcome this global transformation? We need to take into account some mainstreams which are located above any trend or season. I will list just 7 today. Let's start with smart interiors. With the Internet of Things, interactive space has arrived for space and for furniture. And the space is now a sensitive space. Then, to answer to all these new lifestyles, new space typologies and morphologies are arising, and new services that have to answer to the new lifestyles with their own space typologies. The multitasking technology, public and private. Then we have, as I said, the co-spaces. The concept of co to design for the new diversities, neighborhoods and communities. We are rethinking social innovation and social inclusion. Then it's been said here before, the updating of craftsmanship as a preservation of the heritage, because we have sustainability linked to environment, but we have sustainability linked also to culture. And the preservation of heritage is preserving culture. Textile and furniture, digital craft, and new materials that we are going to see done. In fifth place, for some years now, the experiential. We are not designing only spaces. We design experiences, the emotional space. We want that person that visits our space, our design space, has a belonging feeling. And we find like two ways. The wellness and the natural comfort linked to that self-care and self-improvement, not only for the body, but for the brain, and also the virtual space, which is a new space that appears also that we have to design it. Then we have the new materials. Today we've been talking a lot about them. Advanced digitized manufacturing, smart materials, high value add solutions. We are going to see some of them then. And like the seventh part, the circular design process and resource efficiency due to the responsibility as designers for a sustainable development. We could be talking about these really interesting topics the rest of the weekend, but as it's not possible, in the remaining time, I will try to share with you to translate this and this complexity into examples of experiences that are overcoming different challenges of interior design. Okay? Let's start with circular solutions. Alice has talked about that. What does circular solution means? As he explained before, it means to redefine the design process because each decision we take along the design process has a consequence from the material extracting to the final life. And we need to redefine the life cycle of the product. How can we design a circular system, a closed-loop production model? A redefining of the production process is needed. So waste can be reused, upcycled, as a final solution, recycle. The new user demands a shift against the generalized throwaway culture. And this way, we need to design objects and spaces to last, which can be adapted for different uses, and which can be recycled as the last resort. Here we have two examples. Sabai Design, on the top, offers consumers a closed-loop promise, what they call the conscious furniture. The brand will buy sofas back within 3 years of purchase and will make sure they don't end up in a landfill. Sofa for Life, they offer a sofa that is washable, adaptable, portable, and modular to fit the needs of the consumer. The sofa can be converted from a love seat to a full couch, so users can adapt it to their lifestyle. Then we have more brands, like the Home brand, who has a zero-waste policy and include waste materials in its products. For example, they collect polystyrene from US landfills to reuse and make items, including pictures, frames, mirrors. Then we have the sustainable upholstery and textiles. Textile industry is one of the biggest sources of waste, including clothing, but also furniture and carpets. Trying to become upholstery and textile more sustainable is a must. Products made by hand speak of high quality and care. Let's see some opportunities. Let's talk first about the plant-based materials. As veganism becomes more mainstream, consumers are looking for vegan and plant-based alternatives across design, creating the opportunity for innovation in leather-like materials derived from natural fibers. Plant-based materials are being developed as an alternative for leather upholstery and furniture. This organic alternative to leather is starting to be used in fashion and interior design as an innovative solution, and designers are experimenting with both, creating new plant-based materials and also designing with these materials. For example, the Digital Lab Portuguese studio Digital Lab, there on the bottom, has created a cork thread that can be used on furniture, lighting, and textiles. It's called CORK, and it's an alternative to plastic. The thread is made from adding water to pellets of core before pressing the mixture and cutting it into thin strips. The threads are flexible enough to be woven, but strong enough to be made into satin. Very interesting. The designs are produced through advanced digital fabrication processes. IKEA is also experimenting with rice straw, which is a harvesting residue that is extremely polluting when burned, and IKEA is using it in baskets, racks, and lighting designs. And Philip Stark, the renowned designer, in collaboration with Casina, is collaborating and designing a collection of furniture made out of apple 10 lork, a vegan alternative to leather derived from apple cores and skin, like a fruit leather. Then we have also food waste textiles. To investigate the viability of food waste textiles, such as mushroom, fruit, coconut, or even fish waste, as Andrea Liu at the top, does with all CO2 leather. This is a crafted woven salmon skin leather. This leather is a material research-based project that explores the techniques of traditional tanning, natural dyeing, and off-loom weaving as a byproduct of the fishing and food industry. The question raised is how waste can be transformed into valuable material. More alternatives to leather. First, we have the alternative of reusing waste from leather industry. Strips of leather waste can be implemented into product design, such as woven racks, storage baskets, or puffs. These traditionally woven techniques add also tactility. For example, a studio called Kuli Kuli has turned and used cowhide from Kobe beef industry into a collection of new products. And there are also vegan leather alternatives. Makers and scientists are trying to recreate leather-like materials. Many of these products are in the experimental stage. For example, Don Koning, up there, has developed a new material called lino leather that emulates the texture of leather for interior and furniture design. He has explored two versions as the result of a series of material experiments with linoleum, the compound material most commonly used as an affordable and hard-wearing floor covering. The first is a thicker version that emulates ramen leather, which is usually made from a cow's stomach. Koning has used this to create wall panels that have acoustic dampening properties. And the second is closer to saddle leather, a soft material more commonly used in commercial applications. Moreover, to these opportunities, technology is providing brands with tools to digitally print and emboss hides so no leather materials can mimic originals. Innovation in digital, embossing and laser printing to add decorative surface patterns to products is an interesting alternative to leather. For example, Foglizzo brand uses perforated holes in the leather surface to add subtle pattern work. And then we have also the traditional processes, because collaborating with craftspeople from different textile backgrounds and cultures add, as I said, value to our designs. Ethical, eco-friendly, and handmade. Working within a new region can reveal new materials and techniques. They are opportunities. Working with ancient textile making techniques is important for supporting local, regional heritage and for making a social approach to sustainability. So, collaborating, making the match between specialist, traditional craftsmanship, and contemporary designers can be an opportunity to experiment techniques for a new collection. Empowering old techniques with new technologies can bring a contemporary look. Let's talk now about other materials, other new materials. As resources become scarcer and there is a focus on circular solutions, there will be a growing focus on new design for solid materials. We are seeing the great potential for the use of waste, for example, from post-consumer fashion to food and industrial residue. Waste materials offer unpredictability and unique finishings and imperfections. And in interior design, we can take advantage of this natural individuality. In this way, we could say that no waste material is taboo to explore. And we can explore the possibilities of every type of waste, from plastic to industry or food. We need to look around for inspiration. Let's start with the plastics. According to Ellen MacArthur Foundation, by 2050, it's expected to be more plastic in the ocean than fish. Wow. Alternative sources of plastic, like the ocean plastic, are being tested in fashion and interior design. The idea is to use everyday waste in innovative designs. This experimenting is a catalyst for creativity. Plastic waste has been already used to create everything, from decorative accessories to tiles, furniture, or even tech devices. Moreover, if plastic is recycled, fresh pallets add an expressive feel to the material because it is non-homogeneous. For example, IKEA has produced a new collection that we can see on the top, the Muserblomme collection, which is the first textile collection made with recycled plastic waste caught by fishermen in the Mediterranean Sea. This collection is being developed in collaboration with the designer Inma Bermudez. And you can go to an IKEA shop and buy it. It's already on the shop. Dovaltex brand has also a Clean Impact Textile project, which is the first recycled biodegradable polyester textile for commercial interiors. These innovative contract textiles are designed to be long-wearing and biodegradable in landfills at a similar rate to natural fibers. Nendo, the renowned designer Nendo, and Fritz Jansen have collaborated on a collection of stackable chairs made out of recycled household plastic collected, processes, and produced in Europe. New Row also, they have 3D printed street furniture, which is made from waste collected in Thessaloniki for Coca-Cola's Zero Waste Future program. This earring I'm wearing today, it's also made from PET collected by Coca-Cola, but in Spain. And it's been designed by our students at IED Madrid, Instituto Europeo of Design in Madrid, after an exploration with different production system, a new production process. The Nuatan studio is crafting plastics made from food materials, which opens a new innovative area around bioplastic and bacterially grown textiles. As you can see, these new materials have a modern, translucent aesthetic. Marco Federico Cagnonis, also with his plastic culture, which is a vertical farm concept that grows edible materials, which can also be used for bioplastics. Then we have the raw materials. As environmentally responsible design is becoming central to all design processes, this has been reflected in color and material choices. Nature is being taken as a source for materials and dyes to develop new composites and colors. Designers are repurposing local natural materials, such as hemp, jute, and pine, to create these new composites and simply crafted products deeply rooted in sustainability. We come again to redefine traditional craft techniques, hand-waving and basket-making crafts with a contemporary aesthetic. Moreover, designers are questioning the addition of color to the material, and they are exploring the possibilities of natural and unprocessed color, material and finish, because removing dye from the production process can have environmental benefits, non-toxic benefits, increasing versatility for the material's second life, and an undyed material can have a clearer narrative and communicates better to the consumer. Beige does not have to be boring. For example, Studio Nienke Hoflieft, at the bottom, they have produced the circular Sea Me collection, which uses seaweed to make bioplastic, paint, dye, and a yarn, which form a woven cloth sheet. The yarn color is influenced by the strain of the seaweed used and can also be dyed using another seaweed. Faber Futures, another studio, has developed a large-scale and long-term project to develop color in new ways, merging fields of biotechnology and design. The founder, Nachai Odrikiesa, tailors microbes to generate color and pattern on textiles, scale up to the garment size. We have also materials from industrial waste. Industrial waste is creating new opportunities for designers who remove directly into factories to repurpose waste streams. Make non-homogeneous surfaces from discarded paper, textiles, leather, plastic, stone, timber, ceramics, concrete, directly for industry. Reuse offcuts from machining and fabrication to re-engineer products with a sustainable narrative. For example, Urban Terrazzo, at the bottom, by the collective TFOB, They Feed Off Buildings, which incorporates the city's demolition waste, such as clinker bricks and rubble, to make urban furniture. Or the studio Peter Thorne, who molds chairs from waste veneer slivers, or Pentatonic, who designs a circular consumer brand, who designs furniture from discarded clothing, such as returns, damaged garments, and factory leftovers. Or Bentu, which offers interior products using ceramic waste aggregates from post-consumer waste in China. Metal waste is also repurposed in ceramic and resin, or with innovative surface effects, like Ariane Prim does with rust tiles, or Yumakano does with rust harvest resin furniture with oxidized metal effects. What about upcycled paper? Looking for a sustainable approach, use handmade or recycled sheets of paper as sourced from responsible supplies is very interesting. It is particularly used for furniture and home accessories. As we can see with Beer Holthuis, he proposes to use pulp paper and then, using a natural binder, 3D prints into forms. And the pre-existing color of the material makes the color of the second light object. Charlotte Jonecker designs side tables using paper and stone composite, which comes into a unique intester and can be molded in shape. And Titevin, who designs a range of products using recyclable fibers from paper industry. And to last, with the new materials, we have to comment about the materials who come from waste, as the cafe form, a coffee cup made of waste of coffee. The food waste offers new materials application for packaging, tableware, furniture. It also offers significant potential for CMF applications. Moreover, to coffee form, Chabert Logan also experiments with coffee waste for furniture, and Kosuke Araki experiments for tableware made from carbonized vegetable waste combined with an animal of cat glue. Sorry. As you can see, designers are experimenting wildly with very interesting and successful results. Now, I want to set just two more concepts around technology. We can use technology to lower consumers' carbon footprint, to change design system for the better, to achieve a carbon-neutral home. The Internet of Things in objects and furniture can optimize activities and the use of energy in the space. There are many green certifications around energy saving. I will show you just one of them, Passive House, which include an airtight envelope, superior insulation, roof overhangs to block solar heat, and an energy recovery ventilation system. The house consumes approximately 90% less energy than existing building, 90%, and 75% less than new constructions. This is saving energy. The International Passive House Association, the IPA, is who certifies that the construction is ecological and who guarantees the limits and conditions that a passive house must hold. On a different scale, the Burulek brothers, in collaboration with Quadrat, have developed a new range of indoor blinds that provide thermal insulation and in turn reduce energy consumption. On the other hand, we need to talk about accessibility, technology linked to accessibility for inclusive interfaces, as Microsoft has proposed, where with his Xbox adaptive controller, it's adaptive gaming controller for people with disabilities, and also connectivity. As technology becomes more integrated in our homes with friendly interfaces, voice interactions embedded into family life and daily interactions, the using of resources and social relation is optimized. But not only. As interiors become more connected, designs can explore the shifting relationship between reality and virtual. The Textiles explores how interiors inhabit the space in between, because interior designers will have to design also the virtual space, the virtual experience. This space between real and virtual will present new opportunities for interiors. Tactility, digital aesthetic, blue tones, 3D relief surfaces, iridescent finishes, liquid-like patterns, metallic finishes, transparency, we can imagine. Okay. Sorry, because I know it's been so exhausting, but as you have seen, there are so many opportunities to look at, to explore, to experiment, and to design. We have a responsibility as designers, as agents of change. So let's work together to overcome all this challenge, because now it's our turn. Thank you.